How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dean, or as you know me, Twisty3. And today, coming to you live from London, because that's exactly London, England. It's where the Ashes are. Sorry, that's a bit weird. But today we're going to talk Cricket 24 because it's been delayed until October. Now, originally it was supposed to be launching in June, and obviously all of that news I brought to you guys earlier in here. But it has now been delayed until the 5th of October in 2023. So I'm just having a look through this announcement, which was a couple of days ago now. So apologies for not getting this news to you earlier. I'm sure you might have seen it if you follow Big N on Twitter. There is disappointment here, but it's like a proper date. We get a new date, and I guess it's going to give them more time to be able to release a game that is hopefully like really, really good at launch. Big Ant's last title that they released was AFL 23. Not great at launch, still not great in the works, and I think that's probably been one of the main reasons why this has been pushed back. Maybe resources have had to be rediverted to AFL, and then they also want to give themselves more time so that they're not in the same position they were for AFL, and that they can have a really good period here with Cricket 24. So the first things from this announcement that have occurred is that it's not the official game of the Ashes anymore, but there is still a big part of the Ashes being the Ashes are a big part of how this game is going to work, and I'll tell you why. So there's a dot point here. It says the Ashes. Cricket 24 will feature the biggest rivalry in cricket, the Ashes, detailed cutscenes put the user into the moment as gamers get the chance to play out their very own Ashes journey. Now, I don't know if this fit. I really hope this is very similar to how the Ashes mode was in Cricket 07, where it was like the scenario, you are dropped into the scenario of this is what happened in the first test in 2005, because that would be really, really cool, especially given the first test, which was last week, was such an epic finish. Like, imagine, you can either go in at England declaring or whatever it is, or you can just jump into the test right when Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon come together at the crease. And it's like, Australia need 55 to win, 2 wickets in hand. Can you do it? Like, that to me is what we should be seeing from this Ashes mode, given it is now going to take place after the Ashes is finished. So I think that's something I really want to see. That's something I want to see, and that's how I'm reading this, but I definitely don't know whether that's going to be the case. It could just as easily be the same as it's always been, which is just Australia versus England. And if that is the case, I'll be disappointed. The next thing is we actually have a new international license announced, which is Pakistan, Australia, England, Pakistan, West Indies, New Zealand, and Ireland are currently the international teams. It says with more to be announced over the coming months. Now, they are obviously some TBA professional Indian T20 teams, which are some IPL teams. I mentioned that in a previous video as to who those teams might be. I don't think the Indian national team will be licensed in this game purely because the BCCI are really protective of that, and it probably will cost a lot to get their player likenesses in the game. Although they've been able to get some IPL teams in here, but I don't think they'll be able to get the IPL branding as a whole, and that's why it's being called professional Indian T20 teams rather than Indian Premier League teams is the other way I'm reading this. So I don't think we'll get the Indian team. But I do think South Africa is a team we're more likely to see come into the international side of things here. I'm trying to think of the test playing nations. Who's left then? You've still got Sri Lanka is another test playing nation that is not existent here. And Zimbabwe and Bangladesh, the other two major cricket nations. The other things here, we get the complete overhaul of fielding. Again, not really sure what that means till we see it. It would have been good to get some teasers or some screenshots here in this as well. Obviously, it'll be cross-platform. I don't play online. I don't know how many people do play cricket online. If you do, fantastic. But good to see all the custom content will be across all the platforms again. Now, the last point here I want to talk on is career mode. This is where I get a little confused. It says Cricket 24 gives you more control in determining your destiny, becoming a short-form hero, focusing on the test team, or trying to balance both on your way to cricketing stardom. Now, this has sort of been a theme for the last few games where it says, hey, if you want to play more T20, you can play more T20. If you want to play more Test, you can play more Test. But it's in terms of the actual career of the game, it really does not deliver in that aspect. Obviously, yes, you can choose to like decline offers to play in those other competitions, but there's no like if you start in T20, you're going to be really good in T20. So I don't know how much to believe into that as to like, hey, you are only going to be this type of player, and then your manager maybe messages you and is like, hey, if you want to play a test match, you got to play some first class cricket. Something like that would be interesting. Maybe more like player prompts. I feel like in the career, it's you do your press conferences every now and then. You get in the international team. There's not a lot more to achieve. It'd be good to have like the international rankings and things like that, so that you can actually start to have more things to try and achieve rather than just make the team. And be very good on the team, which is exactly what most people, including myself, do. So that is it for today's video. Cricket 24 releasing 5th of October 2023. For Nintendo Switch, it will be in November. That's not a delay. In the original announcement, Switch was coming in November anyway. So that is not a delay for Nintendo Switch. So great news for Switch users. As I said at the beginning of this video, I am in London. So if I don't have the next test match out, and I haven't started recording it, and I probably will not have much time to record it before it does start. If I don't have the Lord's Ashes test out by the time the Lord's Ashes test starts, I do apologise. I'm very, very busy, and while I'm here, and I'll actually be at Lord's on Friday, or day 3. So I will do my best to create a little video of my Ashes experience over here in England, and hopefully that should be something fun for you guys to watch and something fun for me to enjoy. So that's it for today. Have a good day, everyone. Cricket 24 delayed, sad, but we've got a release date, so you'll see plenty of content from me in October. And when is the World Cup? Is the World Cup in October? And this is the other thing about the release date that I totally forgot, is that the Cricket World Cup is actually in October, and it actually is the 5th of October. So the first day of the Cricket World Cup, the one-day World Cup that is, this year, will be in October, on October the 5th. Is that the qualifiers or is that the main draw? Yeah, so that will be the beginning of the Cricket World Cup in 2023 in India on October 5th. So, great result. We're going to have it at the peak of cricket. I think the Ashes is a peak of cricket, but a World Cup's pretty good as well. So that's it. Anyway, apologies, this is probably longer than I thought it would be, but that is it from me today. See you all later. Have a good one. Go the Aussies in the Ashes.